Yeah, Jake says, "Where's Andrell Anthony after state last year? I thought he was wide receiver one, or maybe could be one this year."
Yeah, he's interesting because before the state game, he really wasn't to be found. Then they had the state game. You're like, man, who was this kid? But you really didn't see like a ton after that. I don't know. That's a great
That's
question. I
super
mean,
odd. Like,
he's
so
been out
maybe,
there.
yeah, I saw him. I saw him plenty of.
He's
He's
been out
definitely
there.
playing.
It's just
Um,
not. He's not making an impact right now.
I just wonder if just that state game was the anomaly. You know what I mean?
When he
Versus
was at home,
what the
what
rule
was
is going to be. No, that
yeah,
was on the
but
road.
no. He was at
Oh,
home.
I
He's
got you.
from Lansing. He's from
Sure, sure.
Lansing. So I don't know. Maybe it was something special that day. He's at home, and like I don't know, dude. I mean, but yeah, I agree. I mean, and it wasn't like it was fluky plays. Like
Mm-mm.
he looked like ooh, like who is this
That
kid?
the deep one that Cade threw to him, that crosser that he caught and run for the touchdown, like that. The first thing is the catch. That was it seemed easy. That was a very difficult catch because Anthony is running behind a defender. So as the ball is traveling to him, he actually has some time where he does not see where the ball is. And then, you get to the other side of the defender and boom, it's right there. Catch it and then just turn on the jets. And that wasn't the only play, obviously, that we saw him make. So he had a really good game. Like you said, it wasn't any fluky plays. It was legit high level wide receiver play. And you just wonder, I mean, for Michigan, that was the most that they really threw the ball overall in any one game. So maybe that was it. It's just that the meat and potatoes of Michigan's offense last year was Hassan Haskins, Blake Corum, and Edwards. So maybe that was it. But I don't. It is very odd for a guy to pop like that, and then we essentially don't really see him again do anything close to that. So, I mean, we're coming up on a year now, right? Next month in
Yeah,
October with the Michigan State game.
yeah,
It's like, man, that's a lot of games to have the opportunities and to not do it again.
yeah. No, I mean it's interesting, but like, look, it's unfortunate because like this kid definitely has ability, and you would hope that this coach staff finds some way to tap into that on a more consistent basis. But I wanted to comment on something that Mr. Jones said. The schedule is the schedule. Why is everyone hung up on the out of conference competition? We handle them like we should in the story. Well, yes, that is correct, Mr. Jones. But the reason why we bring up the schedule is not that it's not Michigan's fault, well, the players' fault or the coach's fault. They play who is on their schedule. But for us, when we are analyzing where this team is, how can we give a fair, objective analysis of how good and what true trajectory this team is on based on the competition they're playing this year, right? Like, yeah, they look like world beaters the last 3 weeks. But they've also played maybe some of the worst three teams in the world the last 3 weeks. So it's like, okay, well, how good are we? I know we should be good. I know we should be in the running to win the Big Ten. I know on paper our talent is there. We're winning, but how does that really shake up compared to the competition later in the year? I'm not exactly sure. Even though I may give us the edge, it's so lopsided where we haven't been tested, right? And that's why it's important to bring up from an analysis perspective. It'll be easy to come on here and say, man, Michigan's killing everybody, go blue. We look like we're going to take everyone down and beat everybody by 50 like we did today. That's just not reality. It's possible. It could be a once in a lifetime team, but we won't know that till we see it. That's all. But no one's complaining about it because they're doing what's on their schedule. It's not their fault.
Well, at the end of the day, well, better yet, at the end of the season, if Michigan goes on to beat Ohio State, win the Big Ten championship, win a playoff game, and are in the national championship, nobody's going to care about your soft out of conference schedule. But if you whatever lose to Ohio State or get to the playoff and lose in the first round, and it's in that aspect, that game is similar to the Georgia Michigan game last year, then people are gonna go back and look like, well, they didn't really play anybody out of conference, blah blah blah. It's the same thing that some of the teams in the SEC get when they schedule cupcakes. If you win, it doesn't matter. If you lose, then people like to go back to that. That's just the reality that we're in is that's how people operate. Like that's pretty much it. Like with Clemson, it was the same thing. They had those years where the ACC was soft and they didn't really play anybody out of conference. And when they got to the playoff, they were throttling people. So it didn't. So I don't remember anybody talking about that 15-0 Clemson team with Trevor Lawrence as a true freshman, worried about their out of conference. I don't recall anyone saying anything about that.
No. You just win, baby. You just win and you move forward,
Mm-hmm.
right? So no, that's true. But it's just like when from our perspective, what we're on here to do, Des, we're on here to analyze the team, what we see, right? So I don't have my pom poms right now. When I'm watching the game, I got my pom poms out. Not literally, I don't use pom poms, but you get what I'm saying. I'm trying to cheering on the team, but and like Antoine likes to say, I'm eating my cupcakes too while watching them eat. So it's like, don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. I mean, like, you're happy the team is winning, but it's just like when you're like, someone posed a question, well, how do we know how good OSU is? How do we know how good Alabama is? Good question. We don't. And I'm not going on here saying that Ohio State looks like they're about to win a national title. Same thing for Alabama. The only team that I've said I do not want to touch for a 10-foot pole is Georgia because of what they did to Oregon. Okay, Oregon came in, no matter what you think of Oregon, they came in the season ranked, was it, number 6? And they
Something
beat
like
them like
that.
Michigan, and they beat them like Michigan beat UConn today. Okay, so I'm just saying, like
Actually, just like that. Yes. Actually, just
just
like
like
that.
that. So it's like, okay, that sticks out. You know what I'm saying? That was a quality, at least ranking wise, a quality opponent. Like, for example, we don't know how good Notre Dame is, right? Notre Dame looks very suspect, and Ohio State struggled with the majority of the game at home.
Mm-hmm.
Struggled. They definitely didn't blow them off the field. They definitely didn't beat Notre Dame the way Georgia beat Oregon, right? So it does matter. It's like, how do you beat the type of opponents you play? And it's like, well, yeah, it's proving ground. I'm not putting Ohio State anywhere near Georgia. I'm not putting Ohio State over us. I'm just saying, like, it does matter. That's the proving ground. You play better opponents, you win, and then you get more, I guess, more of a boost in terms of what you can do. I don't say that makes it negative. I mean, I'm not even gonna try. You can't please everybody. Don't worry about Michigan
Exactly.
eating cupcakes. You mad, bro? Because we got extra frosting. Look, man.
I think he's talking to somebody in the chat that